What if I told you that the pile of laundry on your chair doesn't mean you're failing? That the dishes sitting in your sink don't define your worth as a person? And that stack of mail on your counter, it doesn't mean you're losing control of your life? What if I told you it simply means you're human, you've lived a full life, and maybe it's time someone finally showed you a gentler way? Because here's the truth. Nobody wants to say out loud, you are not broken, you are not lazy, you are not falling behind. You have simply never been taught how to organize your home in a way that honors who you are today, not who you were at 40, not who society thinks you should be, but who you are right now, with the energy you have right now, in the season of life you're actually living. For decades, you've been the one holding everything together. You've made countless meals, folded endless loads of laundry, cleaned up after everyone else. You've juggled work and family, maybe cared for aging parents, possibly raised children who are now adults themselves. You've given and given and given. And now, when your body moves a little slower, when your energy comes in different rhythms, when the old ways of cleaning feel impossible, you're told you're not trying hard enough. But that's not true. You're not the problem. The problem is that no one ever taught you how to care for your home in a way that also cares for you. The women who seem to effortlessly maintain organized homes have learned to work with their changing bodies and energy levels, not against them. They've discovered that the secret isn't working harder, it's working smarter. And today, I'm going to share exactly how they do it. Secret 1, the sacred 15-minute reset. I'm about to share something that might sound almost too simple, but this single habit has saved more seniors from cleaning overwhelm than any other method I know. It's what I call the sacred 15-minute reset, and the reason it works so powerfully is because it completely rejects the lie that you need to clean for hours to have an organized home. Let me tell you why this is sacred. For too many years, you've probably felt guilty every time you sat down to rest, thinking about all the things that still needed to be done. This 15-minute reset changes that forever. It gives you permission to do something beautiful and then stop. Not because you're lazy, but because you're wise. Here's how it works. Choose the same 15 minutes every day when your energy feels most steady. This might be right after your morning coffee when your mind is clear, or perhaps in the early evening when the day is winding down. During these sacred 15 minutes, you're not trying to transform your entire house. You're simply tending to the spaces that most affect your daily peace of mind. Your reset might include making your bed, clearing the kitchen counter, putting yesterday's dishes away, wiping down the bathroom sink, or straightening the living room pillows. The key is consistency, not perfection. You're not deep cleaning, you're maintaining the foundation of order that makes everything else easier. What makes this sacred is that these 15 minutes belong to you and your home's well-being. It's not rushed, it's not stressful, and it's not about impressing anyone. It's about creating a gentle rhythm that supports your daily life. After just 1 week of this practice, you'll notice something beautiful happening. Your home starts to feel calmer because it's never allowed to get completely out of control. More importantly, you'll feel calmer because you're not constantly worried about the mess building up around you. The women who swear by this secret often tell me it's the single habit that changed everything for them. Not because 15 minutes is enough to clean a whole house, but because it prevents the overwhelming feeling that leads to avoiding housework altogether. Secret 2, the one-touch rule that changes everything. This secret might sound almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. The one-touch rule has prevented more clutter and saved more energy than any complicated organizing system ever could. Here's the rule. Whenever possible, handle something only once. When you finish reading the newspaper, put it directly in the recycling bin instead of setting it on the table for later. When you take off your sweater, hang it up immediately instead of draping it over a chair. When you bring in the mail, sort it right away. Keep what matters, toss what doesn't. This secret is especially powerful for seniors because it prevents the physical strain of handling the same items multiple times. Think about it. Every time you move that stack of papers from the counter to the table to the desk, to finally filing them away, you're using energy 4 times for what could have been done once. The one-touch rule also prevents decision fatigue. Instead of constantly seeing that pile of mail and thinking, I need to deal with that later, you make the decision once and move on. Your mind stays clearer and your spaces stay more peaceful. Now, this doesn't mean you should exhaust yourself trying to put everything away immediately. If you're tired, it's perfectly fine to set something down. The goal is to use this rule when it feels natural and energy-saving, not when it adds stress to your day. Many organized seniors create what they call landing zones, specific spots where things can temporarily rest before being handled with the one-touch rule later. A small tray by the door for keys and glasses, a basket for items going upstairs, or a designated spot for things that need to be returned to other family members. Secret 3. The power of micro-organizing. I need to tell you something that might make you feel emotional, and that's okay. All those organizing shows you've watched, all those magazines with perfect homes, all those friends who seem to tackle their entire house in a weekend, they've been lying to you. Not intentionally, but they've created a standard that's not just unrealistic for seniors, it's actually harmful. Here's what I want you to know. You don't need to reorganize your entire closet to feel accomplished. You don't need to transform your whole kitchen to experience the joy of order. You just need to start exactly where you are, with exactly the energy you have, in the smallest possible way. This is called micro-organizing, and it's going to change everything for you. Micro-organizing means choosing spaces so tiny that you can complete them in 10 minutes or less without exhausting yourself. We're talking about organizing just one drawer, one shelf, one small section of your medicine cabinet. Why is this so powerful? Because small successes build momentum without exhaustion. When you completely organize your medicine cabinet in 8 minutes, you feel accomplished rather than drained. That positive feeling motivates you to maybe tackle the bathroom drawer tomorrow, or perhaps the kitchen junk drawer next week. The beautiful thing about micro-organizing is that it fits naturally into your life. Waiting for water to boil? Organize the spice rack. Watching your favorite TV show? Sort through the magazine basket during commercials. Feeling energetic after your morning coffee? Tackle that one kitchen drawer that's been bothering you. Here's how to make micro-organizing work for you. Start by identifying the small spaces that cause you the most daily frustration. Maybe it's the drawer where you can never find scissors, or the cabinet where containers tumble out every time you open it. Make a mental list of 10-15 of these spots. Then, when you have a few minutes and feel like being productive, choose one spot and work on it until it's completely organized. Don't move on to the next area. Celebrate this small victory and stop. Let your brain register the satisfaction of completion. Organized seniors often tell me they're amazed at how these tiny sessions add up. After a month of occasional micro-organizing, they realize they've actually organized dozens of small spaces without ever feeling overwhelmed or exhausted. Secret 4. The strategic seasons approach. One of the biggest mistakes people make with home organization is trying to maintain the same standards year-round. Organized seniors know better. They understand that life has natural seasons, and their cleaning and organizing should flow with those seasons, not fight against them. This approach recognizes that some times of year naturally call for deeper attention to your home, while other seasons are meant for lighter maintenance. It also acknowledges that as we age, we might have seasons of higher and lower energy that have nothing to do with the calendar. Here's how the strategic seasons approach works. Identify your natural high-energy times and your natural rest times. For many people, spring brings energy for deeper organizing and decluttering. Fall might inspire you to prepare cozy spaces for winter. But your personal seasons might be different. Maybe you feel most motivated to organize in January after the holidays, or perhaps September energizes you as the weather cools. During your high-energy seasons, this is when you tackle bigger projects, cleaning out closets, organizing storage areas, decluttering rooms, or rearranging furniture. You work with your natural motivation instead of forcing it. During your gentler seasons, you focus purely on maintenance, the daily 15-minute reset, the one-touch rule, and simple micro-organizing. You're not trying to make major changes. You're just keeping things flowing smoothly. This approach is incredibly freeing because it gives you permission to have easier times and more intensive times. You stop feeling guilty when you don't feel like deep organizing in the middle of winter, and you make the most of your natural energy when it comes. Many seniors find that their energy seasons don't perfectly match the calendar seasons, and that's perfectly fine. The key is tuning into your own rhythms and working with them rather than against them. Secret 5, the beautiful boundaries system. This next secret is going to give you permission to do something you've probably never allowed yourself to do, and it might bring tears to your eyes. I'm going to teach you how to set beautiful boundaries around your home, your energy, and your time. And I'm going to tell you why you've earned the right to do this. For how many years have you lived by other people's standards? How many times have you cleaned your house to prepare for visitors, even when you were exhausted? How often have you felt ashamed when someone dropped by unexpectedly and your home wasn't perfect? How many times have you apologized for clutter that honestly wasn't even that bad? Let me tell you something with absolute certainty. You have earned the right to live by your own standards now. You have earned the right to say good enough and mean it. You have earned the right to prioritize your peace over other people's expectations. Here's what beautiful boundaries look like in practice. You might decide that your guest bedroom only needs to be guest ready, not perfect, which means it can store a few items as long as they're neatly contained. You might establish that deep cleaning happens when you feel like it, not on a rigid schedule that causes stress. Beautiful boundaries also means protecting your energy for what matters most to you. If keeping the kitchen organized is crucial for your daily peace, you might let the office closet be a bit more casual. If your living room is where you spend most of your time, that gets priority over spaces you rarely use. This secret includes setting boundaries with family members too. You can lovingly but firmly establish that while you're happy to maintain common areas, everyone is responsible for their own personal spaces. You can communicate that surprise visits require a little advance notice because you're not keeping the house at constant company standards anymore, and that's perfectly reasonable. Many organized seniors create what they call priority zones, the areas of their home that they keep consistently organized because these spaces most impact their daily well-being. Everything else gets organized when energy and motivation align, without guilt or pressure. The most liberating part of beautiful boundaries is releasing yourself from the exhausting pursuit of perfection. Your home becomes a place that serves your life rather than consuming your life. Secret 6. The gentle decluttering method. Traditional decluttering advice often feels harsh and overwhelming, especially for seniors who've accumulated decades of meaningful possessions. Organized seniors have developed a much gentler approach that honors both their attachments and their need for simpler spaces. The gentle decluttering method starts with this understanding. You don't need to get rid of everything, and you don't need to make decisions quickly. This isn't about minimalism or following someone else's rules about how much you should own. It's about gradually creating space for what matters most to you now. Here's how it works. Start by identifying items that are clearly no longer serving you, things that are broken, expired, or that you genuinely don't like anymore. These are easy decisions that don't require emotional energy. Handle these first, and don't worry about anything else yet. Next, look for duplicates or near duplicates. You might have 3 can openers when one works perfectly fine, or multiple sets of sheets when you only need 2. Keeping the best and letting go of the extras creates space without any real loss. The most important part of gentle decluttering is the maybe category. These are items you're not sure about, things that might be useful someday, gifts that feel complicated to release, or possessions that hold memories but don't serve your current life. Instead of forcing immediate decisions, create a designated space for these items. Set a gentle timeline, perhaps 6 months or a year. And if you don't use or think about these maybe items during that time, you'll know they're safe to release. This removes the pressure of making perfect decisions right now. Many seniors find it helpful to declutter in the same micro approach they use for organizing. Spend 10 minutes going through one small area, making only the easy decisions. Tomorrow, if you feel like it, you can spend another 10 minutes in a different spot. There's no rush and no pressure. The goal isn't an empty house. It's a house where everything has space to breathe, where you can find what you need easily, and where your possessions support your current life rather than overwhelming it. Secret 7. The Anchor Spaces Strategy. This final secret ties everything together and might be the most transformative of all. Organized seniors don't try to keep their entire house perfect all the time. Instead, they focus on maintaining what I call anchor spaces, specific areas that, when kept organized, make the whole house feel more peaceful. Anchor spaces are usually the areas where you spend the most time or the spaces that most impact your daily routines. For most people, these include the kitchen counter, the bathroom sink area, the bedroom surfaces, and the main seating area in the living room. When these spaces are clear and organized, your whole house feels more under control, even if other areas aren't perfect. Here's how to identify your personal anchor spaces. Notice which areas, when messy, make you feel most stressed or unsettled. Pay attention to the spaces you see first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Think about which areas visitors see most often and which spaces need to function smoothly for your daily routines to work well. Once you've identified your anchor spaces, usually 4 to 6 areas, these become your priority zones. Your daily 15-minute reset focuses primarily on these spaces. When you're practicing the one-touch rule, you're most careful about these areas. When you have a little extra energy for micro-organizing, you might give these spaces a bit of extra attention. The beauty of the anchor spaces strategy is that it makes organization feel achievable rather than overwhelming. You're not trying to keep everything perfect all the time. You're maintaining the foundation spaces that keep your whole house feeling peaceful and functional. Many seniors find that once their anchor spaces are consistently maintained, they naturally start caring for other areas too, not because they have to, but because the positive energy spreads. When your kitchen counter is clear, you're more likely to wipe down the nearby cabinets. When your bedroom surfaces are organized, you might feel motivated to tidy the closet. But even if the organization doesn't spread to other areas, that's perfectly fine. Your anchor spaces alone will transform how your house feels and how you feel in it. Putting it all together, your personal organization style. Let me leave you with this truth. You are not behind in life. You are not failing at keeping house. You are not less capable than you used to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, with exactly the wisdom you need to create a home that truly serves your beautiful life. These 7 secrets aren't just organizing tips. They're love letters to your future self. They're gentle reminders that you deserve ease, that you've earned the right to live simply, and that your home should support your joy, not steal it. So here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath and choose just one secret that spoke to your heart today. Maybe it's that sacred 15-minute reset that will finally give you permission to rest. Maybe it's the beautiful boundaries that will free you from other people's expectations. Maybe it's creating that first anchor space where peace can live. As you begin incorporating these secrets, remember that the goal isn't perfection. It's progress toward a home that supports your well-being. Some days you'll follow these practices easily, and other days you might set them aside completely. Both are perfectly fine. These are tools to use when they serve you, not rules to stress about when they don't. The most organized seniors I know will tell you that their secret isn't having everything figured out. Their secret is being gentle with themselves, working with their natural rhythms, and focusing on what truly matters for their daily peace and comfort. Your home has been your faithful companion through decades of life. It's held your celebrations and comforted your sorrows. It's witnessed your children grow up, your marriages evolve, your dreams change and deepen. Now it's time to honor that relationship by caring for your home and yourself with the same tenderness you've shown everyone else you've loved. So tell me in the comments, which of these secrets feels like exactly what your heart needed to hear today? I want to know which one you're going to try first, because your journey matters to me. We're building a community here of wise women who refuse to accept that aging means settling for chaos or exhaustion. You deserve to live in a home that feels like a warm embrace at the end of every day. You deserve spaces that welcome you rather than overwhelm you. And most of all, you deserve to know that the wisdom you've gained through all these years of living, that wisdom is exactly what will guide you to the organized, peaceful home you've always wanted.